Morning, it's Market Day Report. All right, Chinese state media says Trump and President Xi held a call. So does that mean that maybe we're moving towards some kind of a resolution for trade? We'll find out. Right now, we'll find out what the corn market is doing. We're trying to build on 2 days of higher closes in corn. December contract up a penny this morning as we start at 444 3/4. And then we go to soybeans. Bean trade has been higher 2 consecutive sessions. November, penny and a quarter lower, 1023 3/4. Let's go to the wheat market and start with Chicago. July, penny higher, 544 1/4. Hard red, penny and a quarter lower, 539 1/4. And spring wheat, the December contract, 654 1/2, penny and a quarter higher. Cotton market, what's happening there? Well, higher, but 52 points higher, not 52 cents, because the market is trading 68.32 cents per pound. It's up 55 points. Let's throw a couple of others in here as well. The rice market has been lower on the front 2 months, higher on the deferreds. And then this market has settled higher 7 consecutive sessions. Oats in mixed territory this morning. Tommy Grisafi's with Nesvick Trading. Not that you trade a lot of oats, but that's kind of an interesting market, 7 in a row.
Yeah, absolutely. And oats are a lot thinner than they used to be. When there was a pit, they were a lot. There's a lot more liquidity. If you look at the open interest in oats, it's very low, and it's a very dicey market. So we like to trade markets with liquidity. That would be your corn and beans, the wheat complex. There's all three of the wheats. Obviously, the border trade wheat being the most liquid. But the interesting that what corn market does at night, it's been reversing during the day. So we'll come in. You're looking, maybe you did your 815 hit, and you're looking at what they did overnight, and we're up 3 or 4, and now we're down 1. This seems to be real consistent with corn that they're bear spreading it, selling the July, buying the D's. We're going to have the Goldman rolls starting tomorrow. A lot of things happening. So if there's old crop bushels out of there, in the farmer's hands, they're not impressed with the price action. So sometimes people hold that last bunch of bushels hoping that they want to make sure that the 2025 crop's planted and that there's no weather problems. But in this case, the weather folks are saying it's going to get hot, and that's what we do during the summer, Tony. Scott always jokes, yes, we got hot during the summer, and yes, we got cold during the winter. How hot and how dry is to be determined. But let's hope some positive news comes out of this Trump meeting. Otherwise, I do think the markets will have a reaction to it.
Okay, you were talking about corn earlier. Let's look at old crop versus new crop and that spread, if you will. This has kind of been interesting because we don't normally see this setup, do we?
Well, what is your definition of normal versus anyone else's, right? I mean, that's what makes a market is that, yes, we have seasonals, we have things that tend to happen, but many folks, this spread was much higher a few months ago. July was trading much over D's. I remember one day I subbed for you at the beginning of the year, the end of last year, and I remember as July futures hit $5, how so many brokers and analysts were saying, let's sell, let's get protected at this level, and then let's get that old crop moved. I think the opportunity people are looking for is a weather problem. That would be a supply issue. We're not quite seeing as much demand as maybe some would hope. We'll see, though. A lot of talk about these trade deals, Tony. We need to start seeing them put together. Otherwise, I do think the market's losing faith that countries are going to run to America and say, hey, let's solve this. We'll buy a lot of your ag products.
Yep. Tommy, hang on. We'll take a break, come back, and pick up the livestock market conversation. Market Day Report continues in a moment. Cash trade, Kansas, Texas, 228. That's $5 higher than what we saw last week. How's that working its way into the market? Let's go. Live cattle futures up $1.67 at 220.07, and we've been as high as 220.95 in the 20 minutes we've been trading. 202 higher on the August at 214.37. So from live cattle over to feeders. Look at the gains here. Now all of the contracts in 2025 are trading above $300. 306.07 on that August, that's up 220. 305.22 on September, it's 207 higher. So with all the strength in the cattle market, what about the market that's been higher 4 consecutive sessions? That's hogs, mixed trade. The June and July moving higher, but the August, that's the one that settled higher 4 straight sessions, down 12 right now at 107.37. Let's bring back in Tommy Grisafi, Nesvick Trading. All right, thoughts on these proteins as we wrap up the week?
Well, great traders pay attention to the cash market, and the cash market's led this the whole way up, and the futures continue to catch up. We had that blip earlier in the week where we had that vicious sell-off in both the live cattle and feeder cattle based on possible chatter that someone's closing. You know, when it's not confirmed and the market is very nervous, there's a lot of people have enjoyed this ride up, both from the fund side, the speculator side. Obviously, anyone who owns cattle has really enjoyed this market move. So when we see a sell-off like that, people take some profits, start to hedge again, and move. But the market had no problem today, gapping higher and going higher. We'll see where we trade if we can reverse. Otherwise, again, you know, as we break through contract highs for so many of these contracts. Speaking of contract highs, back month hogs yesterday really had a good day. As we look at those back month, the hogs are really starting to put up some good numbers, and that's got to make the hog producer happy. Going back to corn real quick while we're on break. July D's corn trading -8. If you are in the hog or cattle business and you need to get some corn bought for the short term, now's the time to do it. So corn's on sale, and that's just another plus here for anyone producing proteins. Back to you, my friend.
Okay, final ones here. How about the precious metals? We haven't talked about gold or silver in just a while, but look at June gold, 33.81 and a half. Thoughts here?
Yeah, we're signing. The government's going more into debt. People are looking for, if we continue, we're going to be spending $2 trillion a year in interest here pretty soon. That's a big number as a lot of the U.S. debt gets refinanced. People are running to gold and Bitcoin. At this point, maybe they're right? Gold put up a plus $80 day earlier in the week, and it hasn't broken much from there. So not too hard to imagine that gold could make new all-time highs here in the weeks to come.
Yeah, and the fact that the biggest buyers of gold, central banks. Tommy Grisafi's with Nesvick Trading. Thanks, Tommy. We'll see you again soon.